Hello Internet. Today I am going to read you guys The Mini Adventures of Shadow and Amy by XX. Dark Angel Kitten XX, no spaces between it. Sorry for the long pause, I had trouble remembering what her name of fanfiction was. I'm going to be reading chapter 3, which is A Rainy Day. So, let's go. Shadow looked out the window for a third time. Sighing, he gazed at the rain that was keeping him where he was. Next to him, a cerulean hedgehog snored loudly, practically leaning on him as he twitched and muttered barely audible nonsense. Across from the two males, a pink hedgehog was spread out on a one-person chair, mindlessly flipping through pages of a teen magazine. This was the most unproductive he's seen of the girl in the short time he's really known her. Well, no, it's more like in the short time he started hanging out with her. He still remembers the time the girl came up to him in Mystic Ruins in an attempt to get him to smile. Ultimately, in the end, mission accomplished, but the female came back the next day to disturb his sleep again. That time in an attempt to engage in a friendship activity, as she had called it. Of course, his reaction was to just mess with her head, but the pink hedgehog was relentless. So that's why he was here. She made a deal. He would come over to her house and hang out there. He said no, but then the males started to think, if I did, would that mean he would finally get peace from the female? The obvious answer was still no, but he still had to give it a chance and hope for the best. And it was proving to not be so bad. At least, not until Sonic showed up. It looks like it's going to rain, Amy told Shadow, looking out her window. She only informed him of the fact since she knew he basically lived in the trees, which was a little saddening. And he'd be soaked if he went out. I'm sure I can find some shelter before it starts. It's raining already, she interrupted. He looked over to the window and saw that it was. A light drizzle, but it was getting heavier the longer he stared. He sighed, knowing how long rainy weather could last this time of year. I guess I'll just have to stay here until it lets up, Shadow reluctantly said. He was expecting a lot of things after he said that sentence, but then Amy started to squeal in happiness. He immediately regretted his choice. Oh yay, that means we'll have more time together. We could play games or make cupcakes. Oh, or maybe we can. Shadow tuned her out as he looked back at the door. A little rain never hurt anybody before. A loud knock interrupted Amy's rambling, and the female was pretty mad about it. Sighing in frustration, she opened the door, and in came Sonic, soaking wet. Hey, Amy. Hey, I'm sorry to drop by unannounced, but it started raining, and I couldn't run fast in the rain because I might slip. And you were closest. Hope you don't mind. Hey, Shadow, I'll just grab a towel, thanks. And he disappeared into a hallway. Amy stood dumbfounded with the door still ajar. Shadow was sure she was wondering what just happened. But she wasn't the only one. What just happened? She finally asked Sonic. Sonic happened, he replied, and began to stand to leave. He was not about to spend who knows how many hours beneath the same roof as him. No way, not in a million years. But Amy blocked his path. No, you can't leave. It's still raining, she exclaimed. And Sonic is here, meaning I'm not going to be. He tried to go around her again, but she stood her ground. Please, Shadow, you haven't in here for even an hour yet. Just ignore him like you always do. Please, Amy pleaded. He was tempted to once again say no, but the little hedgehog was not going to budge, and he couldn't put his hands on her. Could he? Shaking away the idea, he sighed inwardly. I leave when the rain stops. Understood? The disheartened look on her face was then replaced with that of a smile. A bright, beaming smile at that. He regrets that choice, too. The blue hedgehog had done nothing but irritate him while Amy gave him apologetic looks for getting him into it. But it wasn't her fault, at least not entirely, because he could have moved her out of the way and left anyway. But he didn't. His motives for not doing so were being questioned, but his thoughts were interrupted when he heard a deep rumbling sound coming from something near him. I can be sassy. He looked over at Sonic as he mumbled nonsense. You're just a little wannabe loser. This brought Amy's attention to the hedgehog as the male subconsciously placed a hand on his hip as if he were really talking to somebody. Is he awake? Amy asked in a hushed voice. No, the ebony male replied, slowly edging away from the blue male. The clatter raised in volume as his little conversation continued. But you're crazy. I'm number one, babe. Choose me. The two other hedgehogs looked on as if they expected him to say something more, but all they received was a loud snort before snoring started again. Sighing with disinterest, Amy got up from her seat, discarding the magazine on the coffee table before leaving. Out of curiosity, the ebony male got up to follow her, the blue hedgehog falling over but not waking up. There's nothing to do on a rainy day, Amy exclaimed, now sitting at her dining room table, away from the snoring, but being away from Sonic was always a blessing to Shadow. And now in the quiet of a new room as the rain steadily pattered against the window and roof. I have nothing to do with that, Shadow muttered, looking away. Well, I want to blame someone, and that someone might as well be you. Probably your grumpy attitude, the pink hedgehog accused, wagging a finger in the air at him. This brought Knot on an eye roll. Whatever, he said dismissively. Looking around, he spotted a pot of flowers on the windowsill outside. This gave Shadow an idea. Hey, you never gave me a chance to guess your favorite flower, he said, noting the tinge of pink on her cheeks. You really don't have to. She averted her gaze to the window, seemingly interested in the rain. It'll pass the time, he pointed out. Just a bit of emotion in his voice to catch her attention. Releasing a breath she didn't know she was holding, the female gave in to his tricks. I guess it would. But I doubt you'll figure it out, Amy squeakily replied. Smirking, he stared at her intently, going through every possible choice she would think to choose. Okay. Your favorite is a pansy, he spoke, no certainty in his voice. He was quite surprised when she shook her head with a smile. Nope, but nice guess. Even if I am a girl, not all girls generally like pansies and daisies, she said, crossing her arms. Well, there goes trying to guess on my first try, he mumbled to himself. I'll give you 4 more guesses before I tell you, Amy said. Why are my guesses limited? Because he thinks it's funny I gave up last time. But I'll have you know, mister, you'll give up before your last try. Confidence laced in her voice. Violets, nope. Jasmine, too dangerous. Magnolias, no way. Roses? He said sharply, expecting that to be it, but she once again shook her head. Funny you should say that, since it's my last name, but no, Amy said, her smile wider than ever. Alright, fine. What is it then? Dandelions. There were a few moments of silence as the ebony male sat there in shock. What sort of trickery was this? You're kidding, right? Nope. Silence, silence. Amy, where'd you go? Sonic's sudden scream scared the two. Dandelion, Shadow questioned once again. Yep, I like to blow the fluff off of it and make a wish. It never comes true, though, Amy explained. Eyes half lit, a smirk was soon brought to his face. I can't make a nickname out of that. I'll just call you Rose, he said. What? The dark hedgehog said nothing as the blue hedgehog came racing in. Hey, Amy, the rain stopped, Sonic exclaimed, looking over at the window. The rain had stopped and it had gone completely unnoticed by the two. How? They couldn't say for sure. Well, I'll be taking my leave, Shadow said. Before Amy could even call out to him, the male was gone, leaving Sonic and herself alone in the dining room. Well, that was quick, Sonic spoke. As was the rainy day, Sonic. And that is the end of Chapter 3, Rainy Days, of the mini adventures of Shadow and Amy by XX Stark Angel Kitten. Again, links to where you can read the story is in the description below. Please go read the story, tell the author if you like it, if you did. If you guys would like me to read any other stories, be it fan fictions, published work, or poetry, I would be more than happy to. Just leave suggestions for that in the comments below. And thank you all so much for listening. Bye bye.